video production, like when we were kids and you were making loads of YouTube videos. You were making the shit that you wanted to see. Because you essentially you figure other people want to see this. Why are we making this podcast? It's because we think people might enjoy listening to it.
Mate, I guarantee you I am the number one listener for this podcast. After you, because obviously you've got to listen to the edit and do all that, right? But I mean, this is just for my personal enjoyment. This is great, man. I'm enjoying having to do with you.
And the work here is Marcus sorts out the hardware and he sorts out the recording. Past that, it's all me. I do the sound edit, I make the videos, I do all the posting. All he has to do afterward is upload the videos.
But you know what's cool though, as a kid? So I made loads of like gaming videos, and it was just me and my mates playing like Just Cause 2 multiplayer, Minecraft, Call of Duty, you know, Halo, random stuff, right? And I just recorded our games and our commentary and just uploaded it on YouTube, and it served no purpose. No, I mean, some people found it entertaining. A few videos did extremely well, but there was no real purpose other than just to document just the fun we were having. And I didn't even care how many views I was getting. I wasn't planning on growing a brand or a channel. I just did it because it was fun. And I feel like I'm starting to lose that a little bit. Like, you know, I don't produce anything for myself other than this podcast. There's nothing really.
I was going to say, I think this is the opposite now, because this podcast is something that I want to do well. You know, I want to grow the podcast. Obviously we've got the plan for 1,000 listeners that we mentioned in the last episode. But from that, we want to grow it to a video podcast and start growing it into a much bigger thing than it is currently.
Once we get a studio, that's not the living room. But then I tell you something, actually. Having the studio as the living room, having the living room as a studio, as long as it sounds good, this room's got character, man. We've got the beers, we've got the vinyls, we've got the tungsten lamps, and we've got more beers in the fridge just over there.
Now, I had a problem last week with the edit. We don't know what it was, but the sound file that was given to me was very echoey.
Really?
Obviously, we got the second mic, we got the second arm, so we could increase the production value of the podcast.
But initially, it sounded like shit.
Yeah, this initial audio file that was sent to me was god-awful.
I don't know what I did to it. I don't know. I think I just rendered it wrong. I don't know what's going on.
And you sent me another copy while you were in work, and that one sounded fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, we've already had some feedback, man. Like on the last podcast, it sounds just a bit better.
Yeah.
You know?
And between you sending me that file and me saying to you, this sounds like shit.
Yeah.
I was going around all the rooms trying to find somewhere that wasn't as echoey.
One thing that people say when they come here, right, which isn't often, COVID, you know, we've got noise dampening foam. So the flat structure, just so you know, you've got the front door, living room, kitchen behind the front door around the corner, and then you've got our bedrooms and the bathrooms and stuff down this corridor off the end of the living room. Now, down that corridor, we've got noise dampening foam. People always say, oh, why is this here? It just looks cool.
Yeah.
It just looks good. We could get more. We could expand that. We could have that trail out, because that is just in the corridor.
Yeah.
If we bought more, we could have it trailing out into the, and then before you know it, this living room is a studio first, living room second.